So, hey guys, welcome to a new video. This video is going to be very, very spicy, I imagine. I haven't done it yet, but basically, as you might know, I've been on NCS recently. Now, the vlogs are great because you can relive the moments, but what I wanted to do is a quick, I guess, journal slash diary, video diary of just explaining all the funny moments, going through literally every day, all 20 days or whatever it is, explaining what we did on each day, basically doing the vlog in more detail. Imagine it's going to take a while because I wrote out all the stuff I have to mention, and that's a lot of stuff. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so week 1. So the week 1 we were camping in Stoke-on-Trent area. I don't really know where it was, to be honest with you. So I went with Elliot, and me and Elliot from the get-go, we were like, if we have a bad team, it's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be, it's gonna ruin the whole experience really if we get a bad team. So originally we were straight away scared we were gonna get a bad team, and then I remember I got there with him because I got a lift, and we were just eyeing down people who we can make friends with. I'm not even lying right now. We were there he looks friendly, and we were looking around and we're like, he looks friendly, or she looks friendly, and we were looking at people we could talk to. So anyway, we got on the bus, and there were some people sat next to Elliot, because it was in twos and twos, and Elliot was on the outer side, and obviously there were some people next to him on the other two. And I remember the whole time I was trying to get him to talk to him, to make friends. We never did. I didn't even know who those guys are right now, and I never saw him again after that coach trip. But yeah, so the whole time we were trying to get people to talk to him, we couldn't find anyone. So we get there, and the first thing we have to do is put up all the tents. So I remember me and Elliot, because we've been introduced to Dominique, right? Basically on the coach, one of the leaders were like, "Hey, what's your two names?" And I was like, "James and Elliot." And she was like, "Okay, this is Dominique, you're in her team." So we knew of Dominique, but that was the only person we knew. And we also knew of Morgan as well, because we had seen Morgan and we thought she looks like a chill person to talk to. So those were the two people, and they were building a tent together with Ruth and Georgia. And we didn't know Ruth and Georgia at this point, we didn't know any of them. But I remember me and Elliot were trying to get in their group to build a tent, and then we got stuck with some other people. But I remember that was one of the first things I remember about everyone, is that me and Elliot were like, let's try and get with those fellas, and it just failed miserably. So anyway, we get to then build a tent with Jemai and Jules and Finn. No, they were actually really cool guys. We didn't actually speak to Jules and Finn that much because we were in the different teams, but they were sound guys, to be fair. And Jemai's actually in our group. We didn't know this at the time, but yeah, they were in our group. So that was really decent actually. We built a tent with them, and we also ended up staying in a tent. 5 of us. Me and Elliot had our own pod, and then the 3 of them slept in their pod. So it was actually a really decent thing. So we then went to our teams. We met everyone in our team. We didn't get introduced properly because we're still making friends. We didn't know each other that well. But one thing I do remember is that half of us had to wash up before tea, and half of us had to wash up after tea. I remember me and Elliot wanted to wash up before, and that is basically the foundation of how we became friends with who we became friends with. Because the people who also washed up with us was Ben, Georgia, Ruth, and Shivy. I think there was someone else, maybe Louis, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, so we washed up with Ruth and Georgia, Ben, blah blah blah. And this is why we properly made friends with people. This is where we began talking to them. I remember Ruth had to turn on the taps and stuff. She had to turn it off and on from the inside. I remember she kept doing it wrong, and that's when me and Elliot were giving her a banter. And that's kind of when we began talking and stuff like that. Same with Georgia, because we were then talking to Ruth, we were then talking to Georgia. And that is legit how we started talking to each other. With Shivy, I remember he was washing up everyone's plates and stuff. And then we kind of just stopped talking to him because he seemed like the easiest prey. Okay? not prey, I don't know where that came from. But he seemed like the easiest person, just hey, I'm James. So we began talking to him. So then, just from that one washing up trip, we made 3 good friends. And obviously Ben was at this point he wasn't a friend, but he was someone who I could talk to as well, because he was obviously going out with Georgia, and I was now friends with Georgia. So that washing up thing, that helped us so much. Also, I got the funniest bit, one of the first funniest bits, right? So we're washing up, and then when you're done, you're meant to chuck the water away. No, Elliot chucks the water away, and he comes over, he's laughing. He's like, James, there was a spoon. And it was just the funniest thing, because he had just chucked this spoon, and it went Mars. He didn't know where the spoon was, he just heard it land. And, like, it doesn't sound funny now, but at the time, it was, oh my god, I was laughing so much, because he just chucked away a spoon into, like, this filthy, muddy, watery place. Funniest thing so far. So then after tea, we had group activities. Now we had loads of mini games. For example, one, we had a hoop, and there was six different teams, and it was the first team to get everyone through the hoop the fastest in their own different method. So we had one where someone would go over and then under, and then over and under. Did it like that, but like these activities were what like started our group bonding really. Like that's how me and Elliot properly started talking to Ruth and Georgia, and how we probably started talking to like Shivy and people like that. Whereas before we were kind of like, we're talking to you a little bit, but now this is when we're like giving ideas. We're really being a team for the first time. We also had to be this animal. Dude, that was crazy. We had to like have so many arms and so many legs and so many heads, and yeah, that was actually a really good experience. Those group activities, like, those are one of the earliest things we did, and it actually helped a lot. Like, I think if it wasn't for the group activities and the washing up, I wouldn't probably be as good friends with Georgia and Ruth, to be honest. It's also when we met Morgan. Now, Morgan was funny because she was giving banter immediately. Like, we met her, and then she was like, because she's in Team 2, you see. So she was like, oh, Team 2's going to win. And me and Annie were like, no, Team 1's going to win. It was just, like, constantly going back and forth. And she's also Valor, and me and Elliot's Instinct. So we were like, Instinct! And she was like, Valor! Constantly. The whole NCS group, the whole NCS time we were doing this. One funny story I have to say, though, is, so when we first, like I said, we saw Morgan straight away when we got there, and we were like, okay, we have to try and talk to her. So we're there looking to see which team she's going to be in, and we hear her, like, the person leader, like, you're Emily over there. Now we thought she was saying, you're called Emily, you're in that group, right? But what the person was actually saying is, you're Team Emily, as in the leader, you're with leader Emily. So immediately, me and Elliot think that Morgan is actually called Emily. So we're talking to her a bit later, and we're like, oh, what's your name? We know it's going to be Emily. And she's just like, I'm Morgan. And mine and Elliot's faces were like, huh? Because we did not understand what had just gone down. And then later on we realised that her name was actually Morgan because the leader was called Emily. But at that point, we thought, we were just so confused. I just remember thinking, huh? It was the funniest thing. So, that is the end of day one, and then we go on to day two. On day two, we had some water events. So for example, we went canoeing and we did, I think it's called bell boating. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what it's called. And we also did raft boating. Now this was one of my favourite days. I'm probably gonna say that about every single day. But yeah, this was one of my favourite days because this was when we were beginning to become friends with Georgia and Ruth. So I was talking to them about Friends and about Marvel and stuff like that. And it was actually really cool. And also when we were in the boats and stuff, we were splashing them, you know, little things like that. And it was just one of my favourite days, really. Yeah, we were just becoming friends, and this was the moment now I was like, okay, these guys are chill, man. These are good friends. Um, I remember on the way back as well, after the raft boat and everything. Actually, I should mention the raft. So our raft, let's just say it wasn't a success because we didn't even get on it. Like, half of us tried to get on it, fell apart, so it ended up with just Will and Elliot like on it, meant to be paddling, and we didn't really win. And there was actually meant to be like 8 of us on it, and it just failed miserably. But it was funny. So anyway, once we got back, and let me explain the layout. So there's the bottom bit where there's just like the big tent where you're meant to eat in. There's a couple buildings and there's toilets and showers. Then you walk like for like 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and there's the girls' camp. There's no toilets on that bit. I mean, you walk for like another 5 minutes, no joke, up this big hill, and then you get to boys' tents and stuff. And the boys' tents also have toilets, like literally just on the same field. So immediately gets back. Now instead of going all the way up to the top and showering, and obviously people's gonna get out of there first, blah blah. We thought we'll just shower down here. Now, the toilets are not female toilets, but obviously the girls just assumed it was theirs because, well, it's closest to them, the boys got toilets at the top. So me and Ali go in the shower, we literally get back first, we run, we get in there first, we're showering. Now about halfway through my shower, and obviously Elliot's as well, because we're showering at the same time, in different showers, but obviously we went in the same duration. So halfway through my shower, I just hear a knock on the door, people trying to get in. I'm like, I'm screwed, man, I'm screwed. So I quickly like finish my shower, get changed, blah blah blah. Open the door, and there's like 10 girls lined up ready to go into a shower, and their face drops when they realise there was a boy in the shower. Because, you know, for them, they're disgusted that a boy who has a shower at the top is using their shower, the only showers they have, right? So their face drops, and they're like, why are you using our showers? And I'm like laughing because I'm like, it was funny. Like, so I'm laughing, I'm like, what do you mean? This is not, you know, it's anyone's showers. And they're like, no, you got showers up there. They're getting really angry, right? One of them's like, I remember Ruth and Georgia was there, so they were like a little bit laughing, a little bit like, a little bit pissed off. Whereas one of them was proper eggy, right? And she was there like, there's like 90 people, half is here. Be more, I remember the quote, be more considerate, right? Yeah, I just remember I laughed. Now, they were kind of like getting a little bit eggy. And then Elliot opens the door and walks out. He doesn't realise what's going on. They all turn around, see Elliot. Oh, it was the funniest thing, because I just knew we were doomed. So good. Anyway, yeah, be more considerate. So then after that, after tea, blah blah blah, we did some activity thing where we had to get some like wood, build this thing. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of mediocre. It wasn't the best. It was cool though. But we had like, it was another team experience, so that was kind of chill. You know, yeah, we didn't really do much after that. We played some cards, but other than that, end of day 2. Don't know what this was, but boom. So day 3, we went to this mounty hilly place and we did some rock climbing. It was really decent actually. We did scrambling, abseiling, and physically rock climbing. The only downfall of this day, and it was the only reason I didn't really like this day, is because at this point I was friends with Shivy. I was kind of friends with Will at this point. Will was decent friends. Ruth and Georgia were like my main 2 friends. Obviously, Barry Elliot. There's obviously Elliot as well. Dominique, a little bit at this point, and Morgan. Right, they were like the only people I actually talked to. Now, we got split into 3 groups, and I wasn't in any of their groups. That was the only downfall of this day. Was the fact that I was just like, meh. I didn't really like anyone in my group. Now, it wasn't a bad group. It's just I didn't know that I was used to talking to. So that was the only downfall, whereas everyone else were all in their groups talking. But there was one funny bit. When I was about to do abseiling, not abseiling, when I was about to do rock climbing, I was about to climb, and then I heard Georgia like, James, I hope you fall, as a joke, ha ha ha. So I'm climbing, and I actually fall, like, I didn't obviously fall down because I had my rope on, but I like slipped and I proper fell and I hurt my hands. And when I get down, she's like, James, didn't actually want you to fall. It was kind of funny. Yeah, we got back, we planned, in our teams, we planned the food list for next year. Next year? No, we didn't. When we got back, we planned the food list for the week 2. All the stuff we needed to buy, blah blah blah. And then we did some football, which was actually really chill. We played some football in just our teams. Then more people came over, so then me, Ruth, and Georgia went and sat on our own, and we were just talking, chilling, talking about TV. There was a bit where Shivy basically is Chris' name, but because he's so chivalrous, Ben came up with the idea of calling him Shivy Chris, and now I just call him Shivy. So if I ever say just Shivy, I'm talking about Chris, okay? But I'm not gonna say Chris because I just don't. So anyway, Will had this cup with loads of sugar in it, and it's a coffee, but like he just has loads of sugar in it because there's no milk. Now Shivy wasn't expecting there to be so much sugar. I guess he doesn't like sugar in general. So he tries this coffee, and his reaction was the funniest thing. He was just like, like, I don't even know how to recreate the reaction because he genuinely didn't like it and he was disgusted. But he just did a weird like, blah, 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 blah. I don't really know what it was, but it was the funniest thing. I remember me, Ruth, and Will were just laughing, man. So day 4 was also one of my favorite days. So there are 6 teams, each 2 teams. So for example, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5 and 6 did different things on each day. So we all rotated around. Now for this was like a nice chill day. So I'm glad we had this one last, effectively. everyone doing like water sports or climbing on the last day. We did a nice chill day of archery and stuff. So this day began with a stream walk, I believe. And we all got there. We were in just team one for once. It was the only time we were in team one for the whole week. So we're just in team one. We're walking around, and then we have to walk up a stream. There's Jaffa cakes on the end of it. So to say, there wasn't really. He had Jaffa cakes with him, the guy. So he liked about that. But anyway, we just did stream work. It was pretty decent. We were all doing. I say doing. We were attempting to do a cappella as we were doing it. We were just chilling, really talking to each other. We then had fire building, which was decent. Me, Keatley, Louie, and Elliot were in a group. Now that was like the OG of groups right now. Okay, it was at this point as well that we were beginning to talk to Louie and beginning to talk to Keatley. That was like the first time we were actually becoming friends. And then we had archery in the same groups, and that was funny, man, because we were like Team Instinct, and we had the whole week we were like, me and Ali were like Instinct, and Keatley and Louie started to do it, and it was the funniest thing. Like, especially as archery, we were like in unison, like Instinct. It was a great time actually. It was really decent. Yeah, this is when we started to become friends. Jamai also gave the best quote ever. I'm not even lying. So we get to the end of the stream walk in the morning, and the guy's like, the main like leader guy, is like, so are you all glad you came? Now Jamai, he's asking for like, I don't know, I guess he didn't understand the question, but the way he said it, and like, he just said it like he didn't mean to be funny, okay? He was just saying it, and he just goes, came where? And it was like, it doesn't sound funny now, but the way he said it was just so funny, because he meant it so seriously. He was like, you glad you came? Came where? I said, it was funny. I was, me and Ellie were laughing so long. So anyway, that was good. So after the fire thingy and the archery, we just chilled really. Me, Ruth, Georgia, Ben, and Elliot just chilled the whole day. We were just chilling. We had there was a big fire with the whole, all 90 people were there. It was a really good, it was really decent actually. It was a very good time on that day. We were just chilling. There was a rope swing actually. Ruth was on that, and she was like going into a tree. Yeah, it was just decent. Pretty much. I'm going to use decent a lot in this video, FYI. I also have to mention Keatley's eating. Like, Keatley would just eat and eat, but it's in the funniest way. Like, he would pull out a Mars bar. He'd eat that. Legit, straight away. He'd just pull out another one. But he wouldn't, like, make a big deal about it. He would just do it so nonchalantly. And then, like, there's a point where the guy was talking about how to cook marshmallows, and Keatley is legit just there, cooking marshmallows behind him, like, not even paying attention. Like, everyone else just sat around the fire, and Keatley's just in the middle cooking his marshmallows. Another example, we're taking a selfie. It was a giant selfie with all 90 people, and Keatley stood the other side, just eating his muffin, not even paying attention to it. Like, Keatley's hilarious, man. So then, day 5. What happened on day 5? So pretty much, day 5 we just packed up, put away the tent. Ruth lost her earphones, right? She was looking for them for ages, lost her earphones. And then I found out afterwards, on the weekend, I found out that she found them in her pocket. Like, what? How do you even? Anyway, yeah, we just all played a bit of catch, really. Me, Ruth, and Georgia played a bit of catch. All, like, on our main squad, the main, like, 8, I guess. We all sat next to each other on the coach, which was actually really cool. But, yeah, we just chilled on the way home, chillaxed, and, yeah. End of week 1. I don't know what this is, but... Anyway, there was something that happened non-NCS related on the Sunday in between week 1 and 2. And basically, Ruth had a gig, and me and Georgia went to see her perform, and it was actually really cool. Ruth is a great singer, actually. She's really good, so that was actually a good experience on the gig thingy. Hopefully, we'll see her again at some point, but yeah. Anyway, so week 2. Now, week 2, we were staying at Bath University for 5 days, from Monday to Friday. And each day we had different lectures, different talks from different charities, different universities. But in general, it was literally just a chill week. Like, we obviously had a lot of work to do, but at the same point in between those works, we were just chilling out with each other. So that was really cool. Okay, so day 1. We arrived at the place, and we got to our dorms. We unpacked all of our suitcases, yada yada. I actually I had a Deadpool poster that I put up, which was really cool. Not even kidding. We had schedule. We had schedule. Good one. We had lunch and we looked at the schedule. Blah blah blah. We also found out Wi-Fi is only available in the downstairs rooms. So there's one floor of just the kitchen and like there's one bedroom on the end of the corridor. Then there's another floor over boys' bedrooms, another floor over boys' bedrooms, and then the girls were still in a different dorm, identical. But the Wi-Fi is only available on the bottom floor. Oh, I mean, that we're on the top floor. There's straight up none. Like on the second floor, you can maybe get like one bar if you're lucky, now and again. Top floor, there's no way. So yeah, that was fun. We had a lecture. We also did this marble game thingy, which was decent. We had to like make this marble like roller coaster, and then see who can get the marble farthest. That was really cool. Um, Keith also had a great quote. Basically, on our slide, because we made a slide from marble to roll down. One of the quotes were Keely wanted to write on it because everyone's writing on it. One of the quotes Keely wanted to write on was "Prepare your anus," and he just said it out of nowhere. And me and Leia just began laughing so much. It was the funniest thing. Anyway, we didn't win the marble game, by the way. Um, I then had to cook tea, which was spaghetti bolognese. This was the day that I properly began talking to Louis loads, because I'm in the same group as Louis for cooking, and we were cooking onions, and I was like taking a video of him crying because the onions make you cry, but I was pretending like he was actually crying just for no random reason, and that's when I started becoming proper friends with Louis. From that moment on, before that, I hardly spoke to him, but this was like the defining day really. Yeah, we cooked, played Secret Hitler, which was an experience, and went to sleep. Okay, so that's the end of day 1, week 2. Woo! So, day 2, we woke up, went to lectures, blah blah blah. We went to lectures every day. I don't need to say that every day, okay? So, we went to lectures. I chilled at lunch with Ruth and Georgia, I think. We just chilled out with Ben as well. Then we had more lectures. It was also Chris's birthday on this day. So we had to get him cake. Actually, I'm not going to take credit. Georgia and Ruth made the cake. It was really decent. We had to get a lighter, blah blah. Ruth actually sang as well that night. She was doing some singing. Everyone was singing along. It was a really chill day. I did kind of rush that day. Not much happened. Day 3. So, day 3 started the same. I literally wrote, started the same. Right? Went to lectures. Blah blah blah. At lunch, it was really chill. Went to Ruth and George's apartment because they were in a different building, as I said. Went to their kitchen. We chilled with Shivy and Ben. Yeah, it was really cool, man. It was just a really cool day, really. We listened to a song, right? I can't remember what song it was. It was a song about boobs or something. And then Shivy, just out of nowhere, just like, that line's in the Bible. It was so like out of nowhere and unplanned. It was so funny. So yeah. We chilled. We also watched Deadpool because really? Because Ruth had never watched Deadpool before. So, one, that's a sin, okay? To have never seen Deadpool before is like, what are you doing with yourself, mate? So we watched Deadpool because I bought the DVD because I'm like, a genius. And yeah, I think we had pizza on that day. I remember because everyone was watching Deadpool and no one wanted the pizza. So we had pizza. We also played Cards Against Humanity, which was a decent thing. Very funny chain of events that led to, because that started off a whole chain of jokes and stuff. So yeah, that is the end of day 3. Boom. So, day 4? Are we on day 4? So, day 4. It began with lectures. Yes, every day. It was a joy. The main thing about this day is we had to choose our charity that we would base week 3 and 4 off of. Now, loads of people came in, gave their reason why we should pick them for a charity. There was a lot of cool charities that we should have picked, and truthfully, like obviously we couldn't pick all of them. They were all great. For example, Jessie May and Sari, they all had really good reasons to pick, and a lot of them, we could have picked and done loads of stuff for it. It was a tough decision. But we decided to go for a blood donation, like, you know, giving blood, and also blood bikes, freewheelers. What's the letters they go after? Like EVS, I think. I don't know the letters. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, it was a really cool charity. You should check it out if you don't know what it is. But I imagine no one's gonna be watching this, so I don't really have to go into much detail because I know what it is already. Um, yeah, we loads of cool moments. For example, me and Keatley me and Elliot and Louis were making a joke about riding to Paris. Didn't even know how it started. It came out of nowhere, but it was funny. Um, Obviously, I spoke to Ruth and Georgia throughout the day. I also spoke to Shivy and Will and loads of people. Pretty much at this point, our gang, I say gang, our group is just, we're really starting to just become like a family. And it sounds so corny and so cringy and so cliche to say that. But we really were, to be honest. We really were becoming really good friends. Um, we had a quiz that night. We came joint first. That was a really cool, fun thing. Um, Played Manhunt briefly. Cards against Manatee again, really late. Keatley had to eat some mayonnaise. Shout outs to Keatley. Oh, we also played Go Fish. Fun fact, Dominique does not know how to play Go Fish. I do, but she doesn't. Um, so yeah, the final day, day 5, basically packed up. Oh, we had a really cool thing actually. In the morning we had a debate. So instead of the lecture thing, because obviously the lecture thing was pointless now because the whole lectures before was to get us to pit there. No, we didn't have to anyone to pick. We had this debate, and there was lots of different questions. For example, with the EU, are you in or out? And you had to go to either side or stay in the middle for maybe, or stuff like that. Like, um, is peer pressure good? Yes, no. And there were so many questions. It was so interesting. That's not even a lie. It was so fun to do, and that was actually a really good highlight. And then Keatley, he sang this song, right? Now, because we played Secret Hitler, it was like a joke. Now, Chris would rap, and then, actually not, it wasn't that, it was, everyone sang Wonderwall, Shivy rapped, blah 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 blah, blah. He's rapping, I don't know what blah 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 was, he's rapping, and then Keatley goes into this song called Hitler that he's made. I was there a couple of days ago, a couple of days before when he made it, it was funny, and he just goes into it. No one else in like the other team knows what Secret Hitler is. They don't have a clue what he's saying about Hitler. And it was the funniest thing. Like, Keatley is so funny. Another example of like Keatley's humor is he's in the elevator. We're about to go in the elevator, like just me, him, and a couple of random people, and he just turns around and he goes, "Do you know, 60% of elevator lifts ends in gang rape?" Just randomly. There was some people we've never met before. He just says it, and it just it was just funny. Another thing is like, Ruth didn't want to take the guitar down, and he was carrying it around. He was like, "Sorry guys, Ruth wanted me to bring this." He just, his humor is the funniest thing. I love Keatley, man. Um, so yeah, when we basically just packed up and went home, that was the end of week 2, which was kind of sad because week 2 was personally one of my favorites. As a group, we bonded so much, and obviously because we were already friends at the start of it, it helped. Whereas week 1 was so good, but we had to go through that friend making process. Whereas this began as friends, ended as like family. But we go on to week 3. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to go watch Practical Jokers and have a quick wash, so I'm gonna finish this tomorrow. Okay, so week 3. So week 3 was literally just planning for week 4. Literally, that was all week 3 was. There were 4 good moments. So, day 1 of week 3, we were literally just planning, the whole day we were just planning. Was a funny moment, funny thing of week 3, was when we were looking at elderly homes, in case we wanted to go to an elderly home. And then Louis, because we were on the computer, Louis pretended to type in porn, and as a joke. And I accidentally said, like, Bristol elderly porn, instead of Bristol elderly homes. And it wasn't like what I said, it's the fact that I accidentally said it and it just came out, and then Louis just started bursting with laughter, and then he started bursting with laughter. And then obviously it was just the funniest thing, because then we were just all laughing in unison. I mean, if one of us laughed, we all laughed, and that was like an ongoing joke, and that was like an ongoing joke for like just the week then. It was really funny. funniest moment of the day. It was the funniest moment ever. Other than that, it was a pretty plain day on day 1. Day 2, pretty much planned again. The only difference is afterwards, like in the afternoon after we finished, we all went to Suicide Squad. I say that because we were meant to, but we didn't have ID, and there was this really grumpy lady who didn't let us in because we had no ID. Even though it's a 15, and we were all clearly 15, didn't let us in. So instead we went to Nando's, pretty decent, not too shoddy, and we also went to Castle Park and hung out. So all in all, it was a decent day. Day 3, final bit of planning. We did a presentation to the 2 leaders about our events, all the stuff we're doing, and then we went to see Suicide Squad because, yeah, I think I sat next to the roof, I think, and it was decent. It was an okay movie. It was like I don't know what it was, 7, 6, 8 ish. Depends how I think about it, but yeah. So it was decent. It wasn't bad. That was a good day. Day 4. We present it to the main person, the actual like, proper boss guy, who actually is in charge of a charity. So if he would have said no, we were screwed. But luckily he said yeah, he liked the charity thing. Oh dude, the gang also, wait, was that? Oh no, that was, oops, sorry. We then sat in Burger King for lunch. We had like an hour at lunch. Then we went around the shops and stuff and just tried to get some free donations for our charity events, and then that was it. That was week 3. Literally, week 3 was kind of boring. Looking back on it, it was the worst week. Although Nando's, Castle Park, and Suicide Squad was one of the best events for as a team because it was out of NCS hours. We did it in our own time. That was cool. That was one of the best things about week 3. The fact that we met up as a team. So then week 4. Week 4, we had 4 different events: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Each event was to raise money for a charity or raise awareness. So yeah, that's pretty much the only 2 things we could raise. So on the first day, it was a sponsored bike ride or a sponsored walk. The bike ride went like twice as far as the walkers. So then we both get to our destinations in unison, hypothetically, and we both leave and come back at like the same time. Kind of worked actually. It wasn't that bad. It worked pretty decently. The only problem with this day is now the walk-in was spot on. The walk-in was fine. It was chill. We were listening to music, playing I Spy, 21 Questions. I just remember the people who went on the bike ride, so Ruth, Will, and Louis, were like 3 of the people I was closest to. And I remember I was really bummed that I wouldn't get to like walk with them or see them all that day. That was the only downfall. But other than that, it was a good day, to be honest. Yeah, we walked back after getting to Albany. It took like 2 hours there, 2 hours back. You know, I talked to Ruth before she went home, then I went home. End of day 1. Day 2 was one of my favourite days. It was at this church thingy. We were raising awareness and money, and we were trying to get donators for the blood thing. This was a really decent day, actually. My job was taking photos, so that's pretty much what I do anyway. So I was taking photos. Ruth was singing all day, so there was music. There was also Ben's brother who was singing, so it was good. It was decent. Yeah, it was one of my favourite days. Very chill, very spicy. We had loads of people come in. We made like nearly £200, I think, so it was good. Yeah, apart from that, you know, we had pick and mix. We had just a load of stuff like that. Really, just a nice, cool event. I will say this was like when I started to realise that the thing was coming to the end. Like at this point, I was starting to think like, damn, we got 2 days left, and then that's it. We're all gone. It's kind of sad actually, thinking about it. But oh well. So Wednesday, day 3. This was basically just a giant walk. Not even lying. Just walk around Bristol trying to raise awareness, trying to get donations. Yeah, it was good. We did. I can't remember. It was like 10 miles, I think. I think so. Anyway, I'm not too sure. I literally spent like 90% of it talking to the roof. Like legit. Like, we were just talking a lot. Walking on. We were just walking along, talking. Yeah, it was really cool. And it was really interesting actually to just talk. Went to the bridge, West Suspension Bridge, had lunch there. We then walked back. It was pretty much the whole day, really. We didn't do much else after that. Oh, I forgot something for last week on Wednesday. No, last week on Thursday. So we're there, and Shivy sees a wasp, and he doesn't like wasps. So he straight up just 2 foot jumps on this wasp, right? He's thinking he's like shooing it away or something, and he's like, it's dead. And he's like so disappointed that he killed it, and he's like, what have I done? But he's like so shocked, even though he just straight up jumped on it out of nowhere. It was so funny. I'm not even kidding. Also, another funny thing was so yeah, that was the end of week 2. So yeah, that was the end of week 3. But on the Friday after that, because we were only in that NCS from Monday to Thursday, on the Friday, me, Shivy, and Ruth went to Ruth's house and arrived by Ruth's house, and we were like going in the shops and emailing people to like see if they wanted to give any donations. So that was a really cool day. Anyway, so day 4, last official day, was really sad. It was pretty much the same as yesterday, really. It was pretty much the same as day 3. We were walking around a lot, went up to the top. I was talking to Ruth pretty much the whole time. The only difference is that it ended with a water balloon fight on the downs, and that was very spicy. It was really funny. Like, I remember Ruth. It was actually very funny. I remember at one point Ruth was like, "Guys, don't, no headshots." We were in 2 teams, and there was also Dominique. And me and Elliot both got a water balloon. We stood behind Dominique and Ruth, and we just backstabbed them. By the way, they were on our team, and we just splattered it on their heads. It was funny, man. After a water balloon fight, went to Zazaz. You know, I sat with Ruth and Jan. I sat with them. Went to Zazaz Bazaz. Then we went onto the grass. Me, Jan, Ruth, Tom, Ben, and Georgia. We were talking on there for a bit, for about 20 minutes, and then we went home. There was a day after. This wasn't meant to be there. It wasn't in NCS. All of my team, we came over to my house, into this very building right now, and we had a party. We had a movie marathon where we watched like Back to the Future 1 and 2. We watched, I think we might have watched another movie, I'm not too sure. We watched Avengers, and we just chilled. We played Cards Against Humanity, we got fish and chips. It was a great night. We didn't even go to sleep till 5 AM, and it was so good. And then that's it, you know? It's actually so sad that it's over. Like, I'm gonna miss them all so much. Genuinely, like, they are literally like my best friends. I want to remain friends with them. I want to keep talking to them so much, but it seems so unlikely because a lot of them starting a new college, just starting A levels. So one, they're gonna be really busy, as well as if they get jobs, they're gonna be busy. And obviously they're gonna have their old friends back. They're gonna make some new friends. So it just seems very unlikely that we're not gonna remain as good friends. We're not gonna see each other as often. I hope I'm wrong. Hopefully I am. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the future brings. But I will say, NCS has been the best thing I've done in the summer, and for ages it's been the best thing. And everyone on my team were just such good people. I hope they're watching. I can't see them actually watching this because, let's be honest, it's probably a long video. I imagine it's like half an hour at least of me just rambling on. But we will see. If you are watching this and you're on my team, let's meet up. I don't know, ever, whenever you want. Let's meet up. But anyway, one word: spicy. I've been Gilanes. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
LOL.